Be the right club today.
Johnny, that's better than most.
How about in?
That is better than most. Better than most.
Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up live show, presented as always by our friends at High Noon Sunday Open Championship. Time to put the final men's major in the books. Solly here, joined 5 wide. DJ Pie's here. Hello, Pie Man.
5 wide tonight. You know, we had a whole game plan, and the vibes were too high in the back, you know, in the green room. We're like, let's just blow it up. Let's just go 5 wide here. Good to be with you guys.
TC is here. Hello, TC.
Hello. I just ask everybody, please tip your servers and bartenders tonight. One of them has joined us here on the show.
That is Mr. Neil Schuster. Hello, Neil.
Good evening, gentlemen. Happy to be here. I know I was supposed to be in the bullpen, but you know, just give me the rosin bag. I'm ready to go.
And Big Randy as well. Hello, Mr. Big.
Gosh, what a thrill. My favorite golfer wins a major.
You're like DJ.
Never got this far in my
baseball teams. All of a sudden,
dreams.
Your favorite player is the best player. Gosh, that's awful.
Scotty might be the only thing going that's hotter than the Brewers right now, but we can take that.
All right, I deserve that one. I set you up for that. The all new High Noon Beach 12 pack is here. It is making waves. The all new vodka seltzer 12 pack brings kiwi and raspberry as permanent flavors, along with fan favorites peach and lemon, all made with real vodka and real juice. Guys, I know it was a blowout today, but I'm making tonight a kiwi day. All right, that's my favorite of the flavors, and this is my favorite golf tournament of the year. So this Sunday is going to be a kiwi day. You do not need the sand between your toes to enjoy this one. Grab the new High Noon Beach 12 pack and make any day a beach day. HighNoonSpirits.com to find a pack near you. High Noon, suns up, consistency, precision, commitment to the process. It's what conquered Royal Portrush this week in the 153rd playing of the Open Championship. It's also what drives Titleist engineers in designing and manufacturing the #1 ball in golf from a team of 75 R&D associates with advanced degrees in fields such as chemistry, mechanical engineering, physics, and material science to Titleist golf ball testing facilities, which accumulate approximately 20,000 data points per day and more than 5 million per year. I can't even handle all that data. And continuous prototype testing with the best players in the world. To Titleist Ball Plant 3 in New Bedford, Massachusetts, where hundreds of thousands of Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls are manufactured to Titleist's unrelenting standards for consistency from ball to ball and dozen to dozen to the first tee Thursday at Royal Portrush, where 107 players teed up a Titleist golf ball in their quest for the claret jug to the bottom of the cup on the 72nd hole Sunday, where the champion golfer of the year picked his Pro V1 out of the hole.
Champ.
That is a well-written ad right there.
Can I throw one more stat at you? Sorry that DJ and I learned. We were up at the ball plant last month. 20 million dozen golf balls
coming out of that plant.
Per year. Come out of that plant.
Think of that number, 20 million dozen. That's wild. That 107, the 107 players in the field, feels like that number is just getting bigger and bigger. That's wild.
Champ.
Solly, thank you for that. We got a lot to get to tonight. Of course, we're going to talk about Randy's favorite player in the world, Scottie Scheffler, who is your Open champion, the champion golfer of the year. A 4-shot victory, another 4-shot victory at a major for our guy, Scottie Scheffler. Of course, we're going to talk about that. We got a ton of segments to get to. We're going to do some mulligans. Of course, going to make some apologies. TC, I want to ask you who you're giving out A's to this week. You know, a stern test, a good test of golf. Let's see who earned an A this week from TC. Of course, we're going to talk a little Royal Portrush, highlights, lowlights. We'll talk how it was as a venue, broadcast stuff, things of that nature. See if there's any movement on the Ryder Cup front. This is kind of the big last 1.5 points type of week for Ryder Cup points. So we'll talk about that. And then we've got a couple other fun segments to close it out. But guys, before we get there, Scottie Scheffler, your champion. I don't think anybody was surprised to see that today. He becomes, I believe, the 23rd player in history with 4 or more majors. Would you guys like to hear the 4 major club that he joins? Exactly 4 majors. Old Tom, Young Tom.
Of course.
No one really breaking out of that family, apparently. Willie Park Sr., Willie Anderson. God, Scotty, I think would beat the shit out of these
Willie
guys.
Park 1.0, actually.
Willie Park 1.0. Long Jim Barnes, Bobby Locke, and then we get to slightly more modern Raymond Floyd and Ernie Els. That's it. Those are the guys with 4. Of course, there's a dozen or so players north of that, but we're in extremely rare air with Scottie Scheffler here. And Solly, I'll go to you first. Just what sticks out to you the most this week about Scottie? Anything new we can say?
First of all, I went through about 12 different versions of the image that Cody just put up there, battling with ChatGPT to get rid of typos in there. I couldn't get rid of the last typo in there, but we had to let that one go. But yep, rinse, repeat, kind of same things we've been saying. I just don't know if we've paused enough on. We've talked about it a ton, and I'm going to go through a whole bunch of stats here from basically when golf changed, maybe for like the next decade when Scottie switched to the Mallet. And he in a major championship led the field in strokes gained putting this week. Like it was in a week where he covered up the fact that his driver was not perfect. He obviously is going to have the iron play that he almost always does, but the turning the putter from a liability into a weapon, like a true weapon to beat the entire field in putting over the course of the week, is like this is like the formula for when Tiger did win. I know everyone always used the thing like it's the putting that sets Tiger aside. No, it was the ball striking, but in those peak weeks as well, his putter was absolutely lethal, and he rolled in all the 15-footers. And the dude just did it on repeat.
It doesn't hurt you to have both.
I know.
Why not both?
And I honestly think there's another gear that Scottie can even get to. Like it was B+, A- game, I would call it. Like he truly did not drive the ball great this week, and I thought his chipping was just a little shaky at times. I think there's another gear. I think we can revisit the over/under. We said it was set it from FanDuel at 9.5 after the PGA. Probably is still there. I mean, I'm sure they were probably budgeting one of these next two to go his way, and it's looking very, very interesting, extremely interesting.
It is. I'm with you. I don't have a ton more to say other than kind of to add what we were saying last night, which is I feel like we're through the awkward bad haircut phase, and now we're into the history stuff. And I felt myself really rooting for history today. I felt like I felt some real joy on some of those par savers early in the round where he's doing the Tiger finish the race. I'm not fucking making a bogey today type of stuff was really fun when it looked like it was maybe going to get to like 7, 8, 9 shots. Obviously he didn't need to do that or didn't need to get it that high. He still ended up very comfortably winning. The result was never in doubt. But Neil, did you have a good time watching it today? What was your feeling?
Yeah, I had a moment on the first hole right after Haotong Li hit his shot to about 6 feet. And I said in our Slack, maybe it is the year of the rooster. And right as Scottie sent away his approach into one, and that went to about 2 feet. And I said, I don't think it is. And that was kind of it, like for the rest of the day. I'd be lying if I said I was locked in all day. I was, kind of prepping, taking some notes for this, but it wasn't, he does it. Scottie, I find his golf swing mesmerizing. I love watching him hit it, but it's not he doesn't have a lot of magnetic shots that I'm like, hanging on every situation. There's not a lot of volatility, keeps the ball out in front of him all day. He made a double, put in that fairway bunker, made a double. It was at 6. But otherwise that was the first bogey or worse in 32 holes. So it's just really, he makes it look really easy, which, for a viewer can be easy to tune out. But when you start to look at the body of work, you do appreciate the
totality of the work.
Yeah. You're witnessing greatness. And I think there's, I really appreciate people that are consistently excellent and competent. And I would say Scottie Scheffler is the best example of that. And so it is, when you view it through that lens, I think it was a fun day of golf.
There's so many fun stats to shout out. And I know Sally's got a bunch of them, and they shouted this one out on the broadcast. But you mentioned it was number 8 where he made double, and of course comes back and birdies 9. And it's just like to both lead the bogey avoidance. Like I make the fewest bogeys on the PGA Tour, but also when I do make bogey, I make birdie on the next hole the most of anybody on the PGA Tour. Is just that's a pretty good tool to have, man.
Chip, best approach game. Yeah. And then it's like, if I do miss a green, I'm also like have the best short game, but like I don't really need to use it that much. But I have that awesome tool just like on call if I need it.
That's why he's
TC
Randy's
yeah,
favorite
sweet.
player.
Exactly. TC, at what point today? I was thinking about this really through 5 when he was teeing off on 6. They're like, oh, I think he had 7-iron or something there, and I was like, I bet he could hit 7-iron for every shot for the rest of the day and still win. I don't know where that line would have been, but it had to be right about there. Where it's like, no,
Somebody
play 4 or 5 over golf coming in here with just a 7-iron.
Yeah, somebody. Oh, for sure. Somebody posted last night. They're like, hey, like if everybody else was playing from the forward tees today and Scotty was playing from the regular tees, do you think he could win today?
Be close.
I think it would have been close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody gets out with the driver. Who knows?
I think golf fans have a tendency to. Yeah, Tiger won what? How many? 14?
15.
15? How many of those 15 were kind of snoozers? Right, where he was doing the solid stuff. Like we tend to remember Valhalla with Bob May or some of the Masters, but for every one of those, there's another one that's him winning by 5 at the old course or what 8 at the old course or
You're right on both of those.
yeah or Medina or
he did both of those things.
Southern Hills, stuff like that, where it's like he's just doing the right stuff, right? And he's a little bit more wayward off the tee, but he's hitting his irons exceptionally well. He's making all sorts of 8, 10, 12 footers and just kind of playing cold, calculated golf. And that's what Scotty did. And I think there's something cool to watch about that. I really enjoy watching that, where it's like you're kind of watching the guy play against himself and play against the temptation of doing the wrong thing or getting caught with your hand in the cookie jar. And I don't know. I love that. And also just shout out to Phil Kenyon.
Yeah.
I mean, to see like what a advertisement for what that guy is all about and what he can get out of someone. It's remarkable.
And I think Ted's got it as well. I know Ted's not hitting the golf shots, but that this is now Ted's 6th major as on a bag, right? I mean, that's not nothing either.
Cannot be a coincidence.
Exactly. Exactly. So TC, you kind of got to a lot of things that lead right into this question that Neil sent me today that kind of blew my mind. I thought was very well said. This is from your buddy Pat, I believe, Neil.
Yeah, I want to shout out Pat Steelman, TC, our neighbor growing up, but was talking to him. He sent me a late night text. You want me to read the quote, Deej?
Yeah, please, if you got it.
So this is a quote from my guy, Pat. Here's my question. I would love to see the boys cook on. How many Scotty shots are actually seared into your brain? Tiger's the GOAT, but occasionally had the mega miss hot left in play. With that, I also remember 100 plus Tiger shots in big moments, probably more. Does Scotty have any? And I was like, I just kind of stopped me in my tracks. I've been thinking about it all morning. And TC, you hit on a couple things, like take Valhalla out of it, take Tory out of it. But even when he's blowing away the field at Pebble Beach, I can just picture him hitting it up the hill on 6 out of the rough. And there's just a lot of
Canadian Open,
Memorial chip in, like like 10 shots come to mind, even in some of these snoozers, as you're saying. And I was trying to think about this list. I have 2 shots that I can think of, but I'll put the question to you first, TC, but I'd like to go around the horn. Like, what are there memorable shots for you? Like, what comes to mind when you say, like, what's an iconic Scotty shot in these 4 majors or just anything?
Oh, it's a good question. I feel like the shot from the trees at Augusta was on an 18 left. I don't even know if that was during a win. I think he just when he went way left.
Saturday when you're saying when we had to take the penalty?
I think so. Yeah, or just like that's seared into my mind. And also I think some of this could be due to like, some of these we're not getting good calls on them either.
Well, I just think it's an interesting thing to think about. It's like, there's a lot of directions you can go with it, but like the volatility of Tiger was magnetic, where he did hit it in really bad spots and then he got out of trouble, like Houdini mode. But he also did, he kept it, some tournaments, he kept it out in front of him and it's just like, man, just start to finish. That's excellent. I can think of the chip in on number 3 at Augusta when he was playing with Cam Smith. And that was a total flip in 2022. And then only other one that really comes to mind for me, which I don't think anybody else would think of, is like his approach into 16 at Quail Hollow. But that was just like a hole high to 15 feet. Yeah. And I'm like, God, that's just like so good, but it doesn't look it. But if you're not deep into golf, you wouldn't be like, what a shot. You know what I mean?
So
Neil,
Neil,
I don't know. Do you got anything?
real quick, I think one of the things you got to look at is he's had the lead going into every single one of these final rounds where he's won.
Yeah, but so did Tiger.
But all right, so he had a 3-shot lead,
Every-
1-shot
every
lead,
major.
3-shot lead, 4-shot lead. And his margin of victory now has been 3-4-5-4. And on this one, and so I think it comes down to, it doesn't come down to a single moment, or it hasn't, at least yet, right?
You're right. I mean, gosh, running in the putt at Valhalla in 2000, like the tying putt at Valhalla, obviously the ball rolling back down the hill. You're exactly right. It's a really, really good question. I think I think back only because I was there in person when he was playing with Rory early in 2024 Masters, and he hit a shot into the back left pin that was just like off a downslope, wind off the left, just no business getting it back there, and did that. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever forget that shot. That's not like an iconic shot that people are going to remember. That's different than your question, but that was like one of the few times where it was just evident how much higher his skill level is than everyone else. Whereas the problem with Scott, problem is not the right word. Like looking at the formula of like Scottie's birdie rate is 2% better than Rory's. It's not very different. Like the next best guy, it's 1% better than John Rahm's. It's not that much better, but his whole talent is the bogey avoidance. Like his whole talent is the boringness of what proper golf looks like, what middle of the green golf looks like, what not driving into trouble looks like. And Tiger was wilder off the tee and had there's something to the way Tiger also just like hammed up the post shot reactions and the the muscling of a shot and all of that.
The bunker shot in Mexico that Tiger hit like later in his career.
But Scottie's, his feet are going everywhere. Like he has a
every
violent
shot.
move, a violent pass of the ball. I want to go to Randy though. Your favorite player. I mean, he might be the expert on this, right? Like Randy, what do you got for us?
Well, a couple things. Tiger was such a cultural phenomenon that I think his high water marks are just going to get more notoriety, more play. So I think that plays into it. But I would ask you, Neil, like that shot into one today, right? When the closest guy to him stuffs it in there, and then Scottie steps up and hits it inside of him, like that should be an iconic shot of this tournament, in my opinion. So I think he doesn't have the highlight reel, the degree of difficulty that we saw from Tiger. But I also think we could see it over the next 4 or 5 years, right? With Scottie. So I don't disagree, but I think he's building the portfolio.
Sure.
I think that's right, Randy. I also would say that I don't know. I would push back maybe a little bit on the degree of difficulty. Like I think he is hitting similar shots, but I just think
less flair.
The moment is different, right? Like when Tiger's on your screen, you're just, oh my God, it's Tiger. I'm leaning forward. It's just the whole cumulative audience is more heightened, I feel like. And it almost feels like the stakes are higher. Whereas I feel like with Scottie, it just doesn't feel like there's not as much of a fever pitch, right?
Well,
it's not as much of a frenzy when he's in there.
Imagine when he hit the middle of the green again on 16 today, if he just like let loose a Tiger club twirl on this, all of a sudden some of this stuff becomes a little bit more like,
there's not the flair afterwards.
There's no sexiness to it.
He's not running around like a drum major.
I'd be curious what the older generation, somebody who was there watching Arnie, and then when Jack comes along, right? I wonder if there's a bit of this same thing that happens.
You start calling him Fat Scott.
That's good.
Well, and I don't mean to say that there isn't one, because I was like kind of flummoxed. I thought this question I've been thinking about it for, again, like all morning, but I'm also trying to think about, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of chatter online about like, man, this is so boring. It's almost like I'm trying to square those two things of like, I really appreciate what I'm watching, but it is, I have to say, like, it's easy to look away sometimes and be like, oh God, he birdied. I missed that birdie. It just kind of happened. And I was doing, I was folding clothes,
it's
where it's just, I feel like with Tiger or with Rory, even, I don't get that way. You
I
know,
do
I'm like,
think,
oh my
Neil,
God,
there were a lot of Tiger victories that weren't like half of those victories weren't edge of your seat stuff, though, is what I was saying. Like,
yeah,
I think
and
I
I
don't
think
remember
that maybe
06
that's true.
Medina.
You see, maybe I'm remembering just the big moments, but
He had
I'm
so
almost trying to
many,
work this out in real time a little bit.
I would say 07 Southern Hills, don't really have much memory of sexy shots there. 06 Medina, don't have much memory of sexy shots there. 06 at the Open at Hoylake was like the definition of this is not sexy. I'm just going to outlast all of you. Obviously 05
But that
Masters
also
was
became
left.
sexy in a way because he was hitting all those irons off the tees, and
Totally.
now that's just become like
In our minds, that has
thing.
become more
Yeah.
sexy. We weren't watching that being like, this is so sick. He's only hitting irons. Beth Page had the 1-2 iron shot that was, you know, kind of, but again, he twirled it and walked after that one. That did a lot into that one. 02 Masters, he won by 3. That doesn't, you know, there are a few. Bob May is one that I think is seared in our memory. Even the 99 PGA, which is like barely outlasting Sergio, and it wasn't like the sexiest you know, thing. But
Well,
Also-
Sergio's taking up all the juice in that one too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Also, Tiger just spoiled the shit out of us. We're comparing everything
I
to
know.
Tiger.
Yeah.
Before Tiger, we like our generation didn't have anything to really compare it to.
yeah, it's true. Those guys looked a lot more like Scotty. I
Yeah,
think.
but maybe, and I guess it's, if I could simplify it, I said it earlier, but maybe it's the volatility, which is, you know, I don't want to go to Rory, but like I get a lot of juice from that of like, I got to see what's going to happen next because I
speed.
could blow it. And I guess that there's no threat. It doesn't really feel like there's a huge threat of downside with Scotty. So it's
Some
like,
of that's
oh,
just
he's got
modern
this.
golf too. Like there's
Well-
less volatility in the game, and there's less worry about spin control and hitting it from the rough. All that
Well,
as well.
Everything that all of us are saying about Scotty, I think brings me to the ServPro Mulligan segment here, guys, because of course, as you know, ServPro, the number one brand in cleanup and restoration, known for making any mess like it never even happened. Lots of directions we could take this one, but I think we may institute the first ever unanimous. Like, how did we miss this? There's a lot of stats we're gonna say here. None of us picked him to win. Neil, I hate to say it, I think you picked him to not win. Of 100,
we talked about that last night. That was part of the deal with Versant and the block party acquisition. So my hands were tied on that.
And Deej, I feel like I have an alibi. Like I had.
Yeah,
to
you were
no,
kinda,
but you drugged me with you. I would have been on Scotty if it weren't.
I didn't want
Yeah.
you with me at all.
No, you're
I
an
was hoodwinked.
consenting adult, Zolly. You did not.
I was
you did
bamboozled.
not need to get
I was
in.
bummed
with
you were
DC
with
there.
me.
I was led astray.
I don't know. I feel like I'm throwing out all these numbers. We're doing all these career comps. We're showing how much better he is than Phil. He's now played, I think, 3 years in a row better than Rory's peak. He's just beat Rory's peak 3 years in a row, and it's just like, yeah, I just don't think it's his week, man. I don't know. I think Tommy Fleetwood's gonna beat him this week. It's just like, what are we doing on this podcast? It's not good, guys. We gotta be better.
We gotta be better.
This
I
is
gotta
our
be
job. This is
Yeah.
our job. We gotta be better than that. And that's what I have to say. I don't know if anybody has anything to add there.
Just my uncle that checks in on golf literally at the majors every year was like, I'm all over Sheffler this week. And I was like, no, I think like Tommy.
No, I don't like him. And this guy Fleetwood, you got to watch out for him. Did you see what he did to the Travelers? He's bound to make
You
it
don't have
happen.
to do this, Neil. You don't have to do this.
Listen, is it more fun to pick the favorite, or is it
Yeah.
more fun to, take a little bit of a flyer? Guilty as charged, and now he's my favorite golfer, so I expect to
Yeah.
pick a lot of them going forward.
That's a good bit. Maybe you just pick them
Yeah.
every week.
Well,
Yeah.
Deej, I had this
It's like
idea
so much
at
easier, man.
the beginning of
ETF.
the year. I wanted to put $10 on Scotty every week and just see, almost as an experiment. And I could probably just go back and work the numbers on it. But maybe next year I'll do that. Just like,
But
you know what?
Making
Just,
much.
I'm in. Let me get in on your fund next year. I'm in on that.
yeah, maybe I'll just do a little Scotty ETF. You
Yeah.
know, try to see what happens. I don't know. There's probably people in the comments telling me like that wouldn't work. The number, I don't know. It's a fun thought exercise.
Fuck those guys, Neil.
Yeah. What do you say to those
Don't have to
guys?
read the comments,
What do you
Neil.
say to those guys?
What do you say to those guys?
Listen, thank you to ServPro. Over 2,200, Randy, locations nationwide.
Incredible.
Faster to any size disaster, even a disaster like our picks this week. Visit servpro.com or call 1-800-ServPro today. Solly.
I feel like real quick. I feel like the blow pig should have called Surf Pro weeks
Yeah,
ago,
I
a
know.
month ago, and all of that would have gone away, and then we
Feels like-
don't have to have Kisner
No, it's away. It's gone away
clean
now.
up
Kiz,
the mess.
Kiz
He's
threw
moved
it away.
on, right?
Yeah.
Feels like the basement flooded when he was out of town. That's why you shut the water off when you leave town. It's the basement floods and then it just sits down there for weeks and weeks. And now it's just
Do you shut the water off when you go out of town?
yeah, of course. What if what
Really?
if the pipes burst? What if something
Oh.
happens? Yeah,
It's a night.
Really?
yeah. What do you got? Come on, guys. Let us know in the comments if you shut. The
I got
water off. You
ServPro in
don't
my
ever-
back pocket. I don't need to do that. They'll
Oh
clean
my!
it
That's
up
all I
for
think about when I go out of town. I'm like, what? Especially, I mean, listen, you guys do not live where it gets like
Frozen
20 below
pipes.
zero. But Neil, I think you're a bit of an expert on the frozen pipe situation. If anybody listens
Yeah.
to the trap draw,
in a rental property. Yeah.
but yeah, you gotta, that's all I think about when I'm gone. I'm like, wow, what if they freeze? It's could be. Anyways, we take that offline. So like the people are absolutely frothing for some stats. Put this in context for us. Give us some data.
Come on.
I got a lot of stuff here.
Hell
The first one, like Brian Kirshner tweeted this out. Brando brought this. He said Brando set this up on live from. But Scottie winning by 5. He said if Scottie would have won by 5 shots, he only ended up winning by 4. But he would join Tiger in 2000 and Ben Hogan in 1953 as the only golfers to win multiple majors in a season by 5+ strokes. Tiger in 2000 and Hogan in 1953 are known as the peak of the sport and the greatest major championship seasons of all time. And Scottie could casually join them today. He ended up falling 1 shot short of that. But I just found that one. I was like, oh, all right, we're not getting carried away here. Like these are 2 of the most comparable seasons to this one. So
Well, that's a bummer now. I wish
I know.
I wish I would have known
Yeah.
about that.
I was
Yeah.
kind of rooting for that one. He has 4 major wins now in his last 16 starts. Here are the players post World War II that have won 4 majors in a 4-year span. Ben Hogan did it in 1950 to 1953. He actually won 6 in that time period. But from 1960 to 1962, Arnold Palmer won the Masters twice, a U.S. Open and an Open. Nicklaus, several times. Tiger, several times. Rory from 11 to 14, won 4 majors. Brooks from 2017 to 2019 won 4 majors. So that he did it in a 3-year span. But also of note in this time period, just slightly outside this time period, actually, or no, this is within it. He was a putt away from the playoff at the 2022 U.S. Open at Brookline, which a lot of people don't remember. And also he was the runner-up at the 2023 PGA to Brooks Koepka. He was tied with Hovland in that one. So number of starts to get to 4 major wins: Tiger 19, Arnie and Jack 21, Brooks 22, Rory and Scottie 25. And then some fun with some Mallet stuff. This is his 32nd start, I believe, since he switched to the Mallet. Off the top of your head, can you guys guess how many times he has won since then?
8.
7.
I was going to say like 12.
This is his 13th win in 32 starts since then. That is a 40% win percentage. Not only that, 7 of those are playoff events or signature events, including the players. 3 are majors. 1 is Olympic gold medal. 1 is the Hero World Challenge. And the last one is TPC Craig Ranch. Since that putter switch, he has been the 26th best putter in the world. He's been a full shot better per round than the second best player since last March, which is Rory McIlroy. A full shot better on a per round basis. That's 4 shots per tournament better than the next best player in the world. He's been over a half shot better per round with irons than the next best player, which is Victor Hovland, which I found interesting. Also 6th around the green during that time and 3rd off the tee. He has made roughly $46 million on the course since switching to the Mallet, plus $8 million for Comcast, plus $25 million for the Tour Championship. That's $79 million, plus the $3.1 million this week puts him at
Plus
82,
the Versant bonus.
plus that puts him at $82.1 million in the last like 17 months, with the Comcast bonus about to come, as well as another $5 million bonus after the BMW Championship, and who knows what's going to happen here. He could clean up $100 million in a like an 18, 19 month time period.
God, it's the Mallet into the claw grip, which he unveiled at the Hero. And so you basically just put all the winnings this year to that too.
Into just historic purse increases as well.
What if he didn't make the ravioli?
I know. Could have been
He
even
basically
better.
didn't play the first quarter of the year.
And Officer
What if
Gillis.
he doesn't get arrested? I know.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a hand surgery in January. Like he missed, and those are like layup events for him. Unbelievable.
That's a good headline, good social clip. Is Scottie playing the worst golf he could be playing right now? Is this the least he could have gotten out of the last 18 months? My call.
Sully, has his chipping been
Let us know in the
on
comments.
this level all the way through? Or is because that's what constantly, like, I think
It's
kind of
actually
desensitized to the ball striking. Putting's obviously gotten better. Driver doesn't seem like it's quite as good as it was a couple of years ago, but the chipping is just insane. And he's making some of the most otherworldly up and downs look pretty routine.
His chipping middle of last year was actually better than it currently is, but I mean, still just a career consistency that's just absolutely remarkable. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Scottie's strokes gained in majors through 24 starts. So this doesn't include this isn't updated yet. 248. Tiger's was 265. So like nipping on Tiger's heels. And also this win is going to get him a lot closer to Tiger because Tiger's 25th start was not, he's going to be within like 5 or 6 shots of Tiger's performance in his first 25 major starts. With this win, this was my favorite of all of them. With this win, Scottie's career win percentage in majors is officially higher than Tiger Woods. He is at 16%. Tiger is at 15.8%. I know Tiger has aged. It's probably unfair to compare at this point because of all the major starts he's racked up with injuries and age and all that, but he is winning majors at a higher clip than Tiger won over the course of his career. Of course, Tiger kind of peaked around 26% around then it is. So not quite that fair, but still quite interesting. All of his major wins are by 3 or more shots. Some other stats. There's been 14 majors since the first LIV event. 12 of them have been won by PGA Tour players. 2 of them have been won by LIV players. 3 of them have been won by Scottie. Scottie has more major wins than the entire league since it came into existence in the summer of 2022. And this is the 26th U.S. major win in the last 34 majors. Exceptions there are Molinari, Lowry, Hideki, Rahm, Fitz, Cam, Rahm again, and then Rory. And the United States or Americans have won now 10 of the last 11 major championships. That is your stats corner.
Solid one. I got one more for you. Since he turned pro in 2019, he's played in 23 majors. Or since
This is 25. This is 25 this week.
No, those first 2 were when he 2016, 2017 were both amateur starts. So from 2019 onward, he's played in 23 majors. He's in the top 25 in 20 of those 23. And he's in the top 10 on 16 of those 23.
I think I saw something in Dylan DeChambeau's piece last night, which was an awesome piece. I would strongly recommend everybody go read that about Tiger and what he learned from Tiger and how he's emulating some of his like game theory type of stuff. But I believe it's either 15 or this is 16 wins since the last time he missed a cut as well, which is pretty nuts. What is JT's career? Was he at like 12 or 13?
Number of wins?
Yeah.
I think he's like 14 or 15. But...
He did. Yeah, he doesn't just. I'm
13.
Like,
13. He's got more wins than JT's career since the last time he missed a cut.
JT has 16 career wins.
Okay, I'm seeing 13 PGA Tour wins. Oh, then 2. Okay. Anyways, it's close or tied or whatever. He fucking won a lot. Missed, and he doesn't miss a lot of cuts.
No, and he just wins by a lot. Like,
And he also won a gold medal.
Yeah.
His last 5 wins have all been by 4 shots or more. Like 9 of his last 12, it looks like, have been by at least 3 shots. Like there's no doubt. There was a stat that they flashed on the broadcast. I think Tiger, it took 1,197 days from his first major to his 4th. And today was exactly the 1,197th day from Scottie's first major now to his 4th. Like it's stupid, man.
All right, so taking that all into account, I want to go back just for a second. What do you think was the iconic shot today? My vote would be for the approach into number 1. Do you guys feel like there's another shot today from Scottie that was like, I'm going to remember that one?
I think it's the bounce back birdie on 9. hits it to what?
Yeah, probably 6 feet, 7 feet or something.
Yeah, like that to me was just like he hit it to 5 feet, hit a 335-yard drive, and then hit it to 5 feet, and it's like, all right, cool. Like this thing, he just made a double. Wheels could start coming off. There's a little bit of doubt. Nope, I'm gonna make birdie here and retake control.
I think, Neil, I'm with you on number one. Mostly also because I saw, I think it was Porter was tweeting about how, the only thing that's going to make this thing feel in doubt is if he somehow like hits it OB on number one. Like that would be a little bit of a like, oh, whoa, that happened quick. Like now we got 17 more holes to play type of moment. And instead of hitting it out of bounds, he hits it to like pick that one up, pro. That's good range. And that was where I was almost like, I don't remember that many more shots because I truly was like, wow, this is over. Like that's it.
Because there was some nervy. I mean, it's easy to forget the front nine at Quail Hollow this year was not pretty. He's had some drama in final rounds of majors he's been successful at. So I was like, what's this going to be? Is it going to be, is it going to get tight a little bit? And nope, it was just night from the absolute jump.
Let me ask you guys this: a lot of big statements here on this podcast, a lot of historic stuff that Scottie is doing. 10 years from now, and I know we don't know what happens. Maybe he goes and he wins no more majors, or maybe he goes and he wins 10 more majors over the next 10 years. But looking back at 2025 in 10 years, are you going to remember Scottie at the majors, or are you going to remember Rory winning the Grand Slam?
I think it's probably Rory. I think the moment was just more, right? And Neil, to your point, some iconic shots down the stretch from Rory. I think these two majors could kind of fall into that, like, oh yeah, remember when Scottie was just like kicking everybody's ass?
Just kind of blends together a little bit more.
Yeah, so I do think it's probably Rory has the most iconic moment.
It's kind of hard to beat the story of Rory, right? And the close calls and the watching him try to break through for a decade, and the catharsis and the crying, like, and
almost giving it away. Yeah.
And perfect weather at playing like a moron, but still overcoming his own moronic tendencies. Like, yeah, that's a lifetime memory.
Yeah.
I think that's an all-timer.
I'll say this though. I mean, if Scottie goes and wins the US Open next year, it does wash a little bit of the Rory career Grand Slam thing away of like, I know it's this incredible journey. I get all that, but it's kind of like part of the deal was like that he was the transformative player of the generation. You know what I mean? It's like are you the champion of the generation? That put him back tied with Brooks, and the rest of his playing profile obviously outweighs Brooks's playing profile. Rory, you are the player post Tiger to like, he'll be 5 majors and the career slam as of next year. For Scottie, it kind of just becomes like it shortens the shelf life of the lasting nature of the Rory career Grand Slam memory. But that's putting the cart ahead of the horse. But
DJ, if we want to move on to other players, we can. But to what you guys were talking about, I think on Friday, just there's other players that it seems like there's like rivalry. Like when you hear Harris English's interview and Rory's interview after the round, it's like they're all just kind of like, man, he's just better than us. Versus like when you see Rory and Bryson go head to head at last year's US Open, it's like, man, I want to beat that guy. It's a little bit, it's almost like, God, what are we going to do with this guy? The psychological warfare thing is almost real. It's like, man, I can't even like, he won't even engage in the competition. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's not like a villain to any of these guys. But I'm wondering, I guess my point in bringing that up is I hope this is motivating to Rory and to Rahm and to all these guys. But I'm not like, when I'm listening to these interviews, I'm not hearing motivation. I'm hearing almost like, what
ejection. Yeah.
A little bit of like, what am I supposed to do? And that's an interesting place to be. We haven't been in that phase of golf, since obviously Tiger.
I think
you mentioned. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I think on the signature shot stuff, just going back and looking at his scorecard from the front nine, like the putts he made on 6, 7, and 8 as well. Like he's
par putt on 6.
The par putt on 6, the par putt on 7, even the putt for double on 8. Like that's, those are probably the moments that those felt like Brooks moments, right? When Brooks would make those putts to win US Open or the PGA. And he did it over and over and over again. And just going through, he made so many 4 to 5 footers today that went right in the middle of the hole too.
Yeah. Randy, what are you gonna say?
Gosh, it must not have been. I was going back to you were mentioning like Harris English, right? Poor Harris, 2 runners up in majors this year. Only gets beat by one guy. I just got to be better than one guy, and he was 9 shots better than him in those 2 majors. It's
1 shot per round.
Yeah, pretty much. It is nuts, and I think it's like we mentioned this. We talked a lot about it all week, but just on the Sunday show, I feel like we got to read into the record one more time. Is everything you're saying, Neil, is also now surrounded by this? Like, this is not a fulfilling lifestyle, and it's not really even about this type of stuff. And it's just like, not only is he on this historic clip. Speaking personally, I think he's now more interesting than he's ever been. I'm fascinated to hear what he says. I always have liked hearing him talk about golf. I feel like I like hearing him talk about non-golf stuff even more now. And I think Jordan Spieth had a really good quote that I think golf.com published. Yeah, the Sheffler family always doing stuff, he said.
Hobbies. Want to know what those hobbies are.
I'm dying to know what those hobbies are, first of all. And I know he's dying to not share them, which is kind of there's a push and pull. I like that. But the other thing, Jordan kind of made it like first person. Maybe he was being a little cheeky or a little self-effacing, but he's like, Scotty's not interested. And he kind of like thought about it, and then he went for it. He goes, he's not interested in like doing the stuff that all of us are doing as far as like commercialization of
TGL
being a superstar. And that's what it's like. He's not doing TGL. I know Spieth isn't either, but he's not doing TGL. He's not doing just like, hey guys, I'm Open Champion Scottie Scheffler, and let me tell you about this private jet company or something like. He's just not doing any of it, man. And it's like
he doesn't have an app like Xander.
Yeah, none of it. He's just not. It's
no customized golf balls from golfballs.com.
No YouTube channel like Bryson.
Which I honestly think has to be scary.
Yeah,
as one of his contemporaries.
Yes,
no Versant bag.
That's why I brought it up for that exact reason, Randy. Is like everything you're saying, Neil, is not only are they like, should it be motivating? Yes, but it's also got to be a little deflating because like, well, he's not doing the same stuff. What the hell? He's like kind of playing a different game here.
Yeah, he's
like,
having a great time with his family. All I can do is think about golf. My family's falling apart, and this guy doesn't even fucking care.
I know.
I mean, it's crazy, man.
He's almost like he's already distracted.
It's some like 3D killer shit.
Like they're almost rooting for him to get less distracted.
I was texting with a friend earlier. They were trying to think of other comps, like from other, because I don't think there's a comp inside of golf. They're trying to think of comps from other sports, and they're like, man, the only thing I can think is like maybe Greg Popovich. I know that's like not even fair, but because he's a coach, but like it's the only guy I could possibly think that is just like rabid about winning, but also not, and also it's about a lot more than the golf, so to speak. And it's just, I don't know. I'm interested. I don't think I'm well versed enough in other sports, but I'm curious.
I mean, you almost got to go like musician or
yeah, exactly.
or artist, somebody out in the arts that's like, I don't want, I just keep making this genius work, but I don't want any of the trappings.
I think he is a work. Like I was where my head was going, because I do think he I think doing the work is so important to him that my mind naturally wandered to basketball, but like a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan, and hearing NBA guys talk about they didn't know what working hard was until they went and spent time with those guys, and then it was like, oh shit, like this is what it means to like get up every day and put in the work. And we don't really have that peek into Scottie's work process, but I feel like it's, I don't know. That's where my mind goes with this Scottie stuff. Yeah. But he is like more just seemingly balanced than those guys, which is nuts.
And Deej, just to say, I find him fascinating as well with more of this, like more of the interview stuff and the what's the point, man? Like, but it's also like I think we all are struggling. Like, well, God, what am I supposed to do with that? And it's just gotta throw his competition off balance too. Of like, oh my God.
I think what's so interesting,
Russell.
I think what's so interesting about the what's the point stuff too, and I don't know if maybe I'm missing the point as much as I'm thinking that other people miss the point, but I think what he was saying in that was, I have one half of my brain that is saying what's the point,
Yes.
And I have the other half of my brain that loves practicing and is thinking about nothing other than winning this championship. And I can't square those two things. I think a lot of people only glommed onto that first part and thinking that he's like wildly unhappy or,
No, I didn't
not
take
enjoy
it that way.
You know what I mean? But
It's more
I feel
like
like that
I
was
desperately want to
point.
win, and but I don't know why.
Yes.
He's like wrestling with
Yes.
with that, and I thought that that's really fascinating to me as well.
Yeah.
So
Randy,
let's-
you're gonna get the bends going from little Colin with the dog shoes
Right.
to Scotty.
I know.
let's go through
Even
this.
Mickelson before him, two guys I think are on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
This game's going to start out really easy and get a lot harder as we go. So next level up, the 5 major clubs: Seve, Great Man James Braid, Koepka, Rory, Byron Nelson, Peter Thompson. That's post World War II. Does Scotty get to that level?
I'm going to say yes. So
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Next level: Nick Faldo, Phil Mickelson, Lee Trevino at 6 majors.
I'm
Yes.
going to press my luck.
Next level: Bobby Jones, Arnold Palmer, Gene Sarazen, Sam Snead, Harry Vardon at 7 majors.
Scotty's
Yeah,
29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he might have a ticking time bomb for a back.
Right.
That was what
I
prompted
don't
me
know.
to
TC, I'd push back on that. And this is not medical advice, but I find that the guys that let their feet move have a
For
better
sure.
chance at
the long
longevity
swing
than
guys.
than
Yeah.
like the Jason Days that are just like brick shithouse planted in the ground. Let me rotate around this this solid base. Those are the ones that seem to have more issues.
I agree with that. I'm just going back to Scotty's, like in college, he had some back issues that
Okay.
scared a lot of
And his neck. Again, it might be
Scouts.
his neck and his back.
Keisha.
I'm saying he gets to 7. I think that's no
Like-
sweat, honestly.
I'm with you.
Tom Watson is alone at 8 majors.
Don't cost nothing, man. Keep
Yeah,
No.
sure.
keep filling it
Sure.
up.
Hit
Hogan,
me again, Ike.
Hogan
Hogan.
and Player at 9.
Dude, I think the
there,
9.5
there.
is a really fun,
Yeah.
really fun number. I'm gonna hold at 9, I think, for today here on July 20th, 2020.
Because what we say after the PGA, 8.5, and then Solly wrecked our brains with the official line.
You guys were like 6.5, 7.5.
Maybe 7.5.
yeah.
I think we were, but
No, the
it feels-
FanDuel line was 9.5.
That's what
Part
I
of
mean.
the
But
thing-
we were
We're
all kind of
gave
set
out-
on 7.5.
Yeah,
We've already given out so many majors that there's not that
I
many.
think
for
it's
him
time to start
But
taking.
it's,
it back.
yeah, we're taking away
Yeah.
from people. Colin, sorry, you guys.
Give him back, dude. Come
Yeah,
on.
Nelly.
Spieth probably owes us a
No,
lot.
Nelly's I'm
Yeah.
road to 11 still alive. And
Scotty's
well.
going to start stealing
The
some of Nelly's
employee pension program was not fully funded. It was a nice idea, but we are gonna have to take some of that back. I'm sorry, we got out over our skis a little bit.
When we get to Hogan Player, there's 3 players in the history of the game have more than that. It's Jack at 18, Tiger at 15, Hagen at 11. And I know we've gotten ahead of ourselves many times on this pod. With Scotty, it feels different. It does not feel reckless to hand these things out, man. It
I'm
really,
just
really
gonna
does
make
not.
it team 11. Give me Nelly and Scotty.
Who
Going
gets there
for 11.
first? That's the whole question.
Over under 1.5 for next year.
I'm gonna take the under.
I'm
Take-
going over.
I mean,
Over
Birkdale
1.5.
I think over,
I mean, Augusta's always going to be
right?
like that's the one, and then
Well,
it's like,
TC,
can he?
you got to
add-
worry about then you're gonna have to pull some away from Tommy, Shinnecock.
Tommy might win 3 next year. Shinnecock, Birkdale, and the Mink all set up great for him.
You said HE was gonna win the Mink.
Oh, HE
You
win
might
the
need to
Mink.
audit your own.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
Bring PwC.
I'm saying a
in.
lot of mites. A lot of mites.
So I know, obviously, career Grand Slam notwithstanding, it would be fun to see Scotty win a U.S. Open where the winning score is somewhere around even par,
Plus
a
8.
couple under. I want to see him really in a tournament where like par is a great
I
score.
mean, that's Randy's upper right quadrant. His
That's
favorite
right.
golfer, Scottie Scheffler, in a psychological evaluation.
Is that even
in a
one of my
possible?
2 favorite
Yeah.
U.S. Open
Yeah.
venues.
And
Yeah.
you can't blow the field at the rest of the fields that even in your -6 that doesn't count. You got to win it at -1. Like you got to win it close to that even number.
too
Any
good,
better,
man.
I
any
think
better doesn't count.
Deej, it's like our perfect round. No 3 putts, no doubles, no lost balls, and shoot 90. That's,
Exactly.
Like,
I just-
you can't
I
shoot
wa-
89. You have to shoot
I want
90.
to see him win a really hard golf tournament. really hard.
Well, next year might be your chance.
Yeah.
Career Grand Slam on his birthday. TV they love birthdays.
At the cock.
And it's just a few months after Sevi's birthday too.
It's a good one.
Great man, Sevi.
All right, TC. I personally am going to give Scottie Scheffler an A this week. Do you agree?
Great.
Do you agree with that? Where are we starting from here?
I agree. Scottie gets an A.
Who else is on your short list of people receiving A's? And if we
Yeah.
want to do kind of a, an equitable sort of distribution here, there's 156 guys in the field. Top 10% would be an A, I think. So 15-ish, just in case, there's any kind of grade inflation or deflation going on.
Yeah. Next up on my list is Open Radio. I think Open Radio gets an A. I just wanted to shout them out ahead of anybody else. They get an A+. Really, there's the great people at Open Radio, just a lifesaver this week.
Much like the quad box, Neil, we were talking about the crystal meth quad box and just feeling all stressed out trying to watch that.
Angel dust.
I think once I leaned in and I conceded defeat on I do not need to watch as many shots as humanly possible.
Yes.
Maybe what if I just walk the dogs and listen to Open Radio? That it was like my heart rate came down so much. Do you see? I absolutely enjoyed it. Shout out to Marcus, is like one of the most talented, charming, funny kind of hosts. He's always reading the listener emails, joking with the other kind of talent around the golf course. It rocks. And Randy, I can't wait for you and Cody to do it during the women's open.
It's more descriptive.
Yes.
Like it's more
They paint
descriptive
pictures.
than the pictures that we're seeing on the screen even.
I was listening to the car that they'll just wander off into a conversation about pants versus slacks versus trousers, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually makes sense. Slacks feels more like for golf, but trousers is a little more elevated. I was like, I'm learning something. I loved it.
You know who's
got a
listening
lot
to,
of time you got to fill on those airways, guys.
You know who's listening to Open Radio? They kept saying like, "Oh, and shout out to such and such person who it's all mowers. It's all mowers at golf courses who are just plug it in and listen to Open Radio first thing in the morning as they're getting their courses ready in Texas and Oregon and wherever. It was great. Anyway, cannot co-sign that enough, TC.
Well, just a quick plug. Listen to Open Radio in a couple weeks at the AIG Women's Open.
Important context.
Yes.
Cody and Randy will be doing work.
We
for the
will be
Open
doing
Radio.
it again.
So that's a shameless plug right there. Just if we're gonna criticize Versant and that Russian nesting
Is the
doll, we gotta say
Versant
that.
thing of a bit? It is Versant. Like, is this a bit with Versant, or are we?
No,
I
I thought it was pronounced Versant.
Okay.
I
was like, I'm gonna be impressed.
Croissant,
For the next 10 years. Croissant.
Well, that's also just a lesson in I think it's a really stupid name because I don't know. It feels like you would pronounce. I don't know.
Conversant is it's off of conversant. I think is the.
Yeah,
which
I would
means
spell
to be
that with an E.
knowledgeable about
Versant.
something. Anyway, I think HE gets an A.
Nevertheless,
Yeah.
HE showed up, runner up in two majors this year. He's so good, man. He's a sleeping giant, Randy, and he's gonna win one. He's gonna nab one of these things at some point, I think.
Pleasure.
Yeah, Haotong Li gets an A. I think he was the perfect, counterpoint to Scottie today. Just kind of
So happy to be there.
happy
So
go
just
lucky.
thrilled to be. He was making room for wow. Great attitude all day, smiling on every tee box. I would give him I'd say A- TC. I don't think he really brought it today, but good week.
Got in the
You
Masters
guys
too.
you guys were making me laugh in the Slack. The People's Republic champion. I think that's such a good nickname for Haotong.
I don't want to say it was like totally out of nowhere. He T4 at the Sudal Open, but I didn't have the Haotong Li experience on my radar this week, and I loved it. We were all so much
Swing is
richer.
sick, dude.
So much richer. His swing's awesome. So one of my friends compared him to Martin Trainer. They're like, you might chuckle seeing him up there, but like when he gets a sniff of it, man, he doesn't go away. And it's I thought that was a really fun comp.
He hit some of the wipiest fades though. Some real wipey ones, which is
But he didn't go away.
he didn't go away though.
We'll see you next year at Birkdale, big dog. I love it.
Gotterup, put him on the team.
Jesus.
Solly, put him on the team. He needs to be on the team. I hopefully you've seen enough at this point We were lobbying for
We'll
him
have a
after
Ryder
last
Cup
week.
segment. We can talk about all this stuff. Okay.
Next up, I got Jesper Svensson. Can't say enough good things. He finished T16, 66 today. That's an A. It's all relative. That's an A. Same thing with Takumi Kanaya. Takumi Kanaya gets an A. He finished T40, -2.
What does Tommy get, TC?
Tommy gets an incomplete. I think he withdrew from the class. Richard Teeter gets an A.
We're just gonna breeze right by that. Tell me more
moving
about
right
that.
past that.
Tommy's parents moved him to another district.
Tell me more about that incomplete. I believe he finished the tournament.
Yeah, Tommy. What was it? Tommy finished
7 under T16.
Yeah,
TC acting like he
T16.
doesn't know. Yeah, actually, I'm first time hearing of Tommy.
Getting the yellow or not getting any yellow this week, which is I think fitting. I don't know what to say about Tommy. We're gonna have to evaluate our positions. We're gonna have to look at some things here in the off season. The iron play just wasn't up to snuff this week. 112th in strokes gained approach.
That's not going to.
That's just not Tommy Fleetwood
Not great.
golf. I think the early returns from the putter from the new Mallet, like he's using a Mallet now. I think those are good. I'm encouraged by those. Tommy's a spring chicken. He's only 34 right now, so I think we've got plenty of runway ahead of us. And I think he's leveling up. He's playing very, very, very good golf, world-class golf.
What was your favorite memory, I guess, from the era of when you were eligible to pick him to win majors? As that kind of comes to an end here, what did you have a highlight?
As we sunset that era of your life.
Probably is 63 at Shinnecock. That was really cool.
The course.
Yeah, that was really cool. We can talk about Tommy on a future episode. We got long,
Of course.
Totally.
Lot to discuss.
No,
there.
we all could,
I wanted to
yes.
circle back to Kumi Kanaya at his T40. I don't know if you had anything more that if you got.
No, I
cut
really
off
don't have
there
a
on
whole
that
lot
one.
more. I mean, he beat Victor
Tied with
Hovland.
Jason Kokrak.
He didn't go to a class all year long, showed up and got a C on the final, and you're going to give him
Plays
an
on
A.
the-
He
plays
beat
on the
Justin
football team.
Leonard. He beat Sam Burns.
Justin Leonard's ass.
He beat, he tied with Spieth, tied with Lowry. So
Justin Leonard better get an A in this class.
Justin Leonard gets an A. Sepp Straka gets an A. I think he wasn't doing well through the midterms, and then he made 18 pars in a row today, which I think is so sick.
That feels like coasting.
It's
Hey,
an
just
A.
put-
I feel like we're getting some great inflation.
He put C on the Scantron on repeat. That's all he did.
TC just
yeah,
bases
but
his grades on who came to office hours.
I think Team Rose gets an A just because he was highly entertaining this week and emphatic in his celebrations and the AI, the totality of Team Rose this week.
Somebody
otherwise
it was in my DMs called it the saw shank redemption, as in he saw a lot of shanks and then redeemed himself. I thought that was quite clever.
Bones gets an A.
Yeah.
Bones
Yep.
Bones was excellent. Even though they weren't even setting him up for success, he still rose above that. Tarico, I think, gets an A. Didn't see enough of him. Could have been an incomplete just because they continue to hide him in favor of Hicks. The photographers, that Jamie Kennedy thread,
Yeah.
that of all the best photos taken of the week. What golf course was that? I want to see that golf course. I didn't see that this week on TV. What else we got? Versant, I got to give them an A.
That's fair. That's earned. That's
yeah,
earned.
we know,
They
just
had
like
some earned
astronomer.
Yeah.
does
Yeah,
it,
they got earned
doesn't
media
matter
here
how
for
you
sure.
earned it.
Yeah.
Pacific Life, I'll give them an A. Whales
and I
breaching.
we're joking that it just feels like the ultimate, like the agency forgot that the commercial was due, and they're like, just pull a bunch of whales breaching off of like stockfootage.com or whatever, and just throw some what'd you call it, college football music over at TC. That was really good.
Yeah.
Can I
And
give
then
out
Phil
one
Kenyon.
A? Yeah. I give out. You guys all deserve an A for like earnestly doing the Keegan thing for a T30. Like I think he was really, really well done.
Oh, Keegan, I forgot Keegan.
It felt like it felt like a threat that was actually there that actually wasn't, and that was earned from you guys. You guys did an incredible job with that bit, and I just wanted to congratulate you.
He did beat Spieth and JT this week. Thought that was and
Kokrak
and Novak as well.
Well, that hurts our case.
And non-Barstool.
God, you know what? I want to throw this out, but I feel like TC is one of those old school teachers with the yardstick under his desk who's going to come wrap the knuckles or something if you say the wrong thing. I think you could talk me into Rory getting an A minus this week. Neil, we were talking about this a little bit before we came on. I think all the scar tissue for this place, the weight of coming back here, it's a weird week for him. And I don't know, man. He finished T7. He played the best golf I think we've seen him play in a little while. And I'm throwing that out there because my conscience won't let me live without saying it.
I think you can get a B+.
I agree. Deej, he got beat by just a better player, but I thought he showed up. Thursday, I bet he's kicking himself for his start.
The first part of Thursday, right? In the second half of that round, he kind of dug in and
yeah, man, he's got more. I mean, I felt I didn't feel a ton of juice today, like watching the broadcast as far as like the noise on site, except when they went to Rory. I mean, just the hopes and dreams of a nation on his shoulders, and I thought he showed up, and I'm not going to fault him for taking it all in, and I could see some people being like, oh, man, look, he's, just happy to be there or whatever. No, it's like, I thought he should be proud of himself, I guess is what I would say. But like, yeah, he got his ass beat by like the best player in the world.
I just don't think you can give him an A.
A few others, if we're being honest.
We didn't say A. I would say A minus. I would say A
minus.
A-. And I think today, he's probably pressing a little bit. He's 6 back to start. Like, it's not, he just didn't put himself in a good position for the final round.
I think he could have laid an absolute egg, as we saw in 2019.
Yes.
He could have. He was not a threat to win the tournament, but he was as relevant as he was going to be. Sure.
Hey, TC, the blow pig deserves a little credit. After 76, he went.
I think he needs to get an A.
66, 66, 64. He went into javelina mode, an absolute wild boar. Just out there, like causing problems on the ranch. Okay.
Well, the blow pig's he's still suspended. He's still not. He's been sent home. He's having to take classes from home. So, no, I think I don't know. I think with Rory, some of that too is like. It doesn't seem like the fans were interested in anything other than Rory. Like, are these proper golf fans?
Which I would flip that on its head and say, like, that would be weird to play in front of. That's weird.
No, I know. Which, I don't begrudge Rory for that. But I'm saying a little bit of like, give me Scottish golf fans 10 times out of 10 over. I just don't think these are ball knowers.
I'm just not going to criticize, hometown fans for riding for their guy who's within,
that's all they're
5-6 strokes of the lead. I don't think that's something I have no problem with that. I mean, come from the guy that will go out and jump on a plane for Tommy. I mean, they're supporting their guy.
Yeah, but I support others too, or I give credit where it's due for others as well.
You didn't feel like they were the crowd.
The vibes seem downright funereal out there.
Will you give the blow pig an A? Recognize it's good play.
Blow pig an A.
Too many A's going out. Let's go down. Any D's, any F's? Let's get to the good stuff.
I would give Matt Fitzpatrick an F for his outfits this week.
That's kind of
absolutely horrendous. Buy an iron, my man. What else?
What do you give Bryson?
Bryson's first round.
Complicated.
It is complicated, but I think it's good. He put in the work. He had got like a 35 on the first test, and then just buckled down. Man, got a passing grade.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Wonder.
Okay. I don't care.
Gosh, yeah. Bryson, once he settled in and really got accustomed to links golf and learned the golf course, man, he put on a winning performance. Wonder if he maybe played a little links golf last week if he'd been a little bit more prepared for that Thursday.
You just never know.
Hard to argue.
TC, anybody else?
Disappointed in Harmon. T10,
Yeah.
but I think wanted to see more from him on Saturday. Kind of shocking he went away like he did. I would say a grade for Portrush is just incomplete. I still don't feel like and it's not really Portrush's fault. The wind hasn't blown. I don't feel like we've experienced Portrush yet, but based on the broadcast and just the lack of conditions that we've seen.
Well, you guys were saying it on Friday. I was listening to that on a run. I don't have any problem with like you guys preferring the Scottish links golf to the Irish links golf. It doesn't take anything away from the Irish links golf, but I probably prefer playing Irish links golf and the big dunes and kind of the sweeping vistas. But I would have liked the ball on the ground a little bit more. It seemed, especially with a lot of the chipping, like guys trying to take it up top and not exactly what you're looking for from an open. There were several examples of like the drama of a ball. I really like the runoffs and the slopes of the green. I don't think, the broadcast gave me a great sense of that on a lot of holes, but there was drama in like a ball, like, oh my God, is that going to stay up? Is it not? And then it would go down a 20-foot, runoff. And so there was, I would say I would give Portrush a B+. I enjoyed watching the course, and I've never been there. I don't have as much context as three of you guys on this here podcast.
Just felt like I was waiting all week for like here's some creative links play here, which just doesn't really exist when you have as many perched up greens as it has there. And like to your point, like I thought again, it's good. Like the design features are really good. Like the greens are really interesting, and they kind of need to be protected in that way, just because from tee to green, it's just not that difficult of a golf course. So like some of those intrigue of like, is the ball going to stay on the green? Is it going to roll off? And where they put a lot of those pins was all really good. It's still just not like upper right quadrant of like the checking all the boxes of what I love about links golf. I think is kind of where I landed on all of that.
And it seems like it's been really nice. The weather's been really nice in the lead up. And like, I just want a little bit more fire in the golf course, even if we're not going to get the wind.
I feel like maybe a little bit of counterweight to this, but I feel like my take was I thought it was a really cool change of pace from a lot of those links courses that you're talking about, in the same way that Oakmont and Pinehurst both host the US Open. I thought this was very cool that it's the same tournament, but a slightly different playing style. I thought that was a cool variety. And I think the reason for that was, I don't know, it felt like a really good test of modern golf, right? I think some of the trouble off the fairways, some of the ways that, the slopes around the greens were in play, but they were in play less than some of the other links courses that we see year to year. I don't know. I just thought it was a good match for modern professional golf. And Neil, what's so funny is hearing you, like, it's just a preference thing, but hearing you describe it, I'm like, dude, get me away from Irish links golf, because I can't, like, I don't drive the ball well, and I'm so much better when I have space to breathe and I can keep the ball on the ground. But like for the pros, I'm like, no, I kind of want them to worry about losing a ball on the left side there. That's actually kind of great, And so I think it's just a fun counterbalance. And I don't think I'd want them to go there every year, but I think as a mix, for the rest of the stuff in the Rota, I think it's a no-brainer to keep it around.
I got no problem with it in the Rota. I think it's a good course. Like, it's a fine course to have in the Rota. I just, the closing stretch leaves a little bit to be desired for me. And I think the best holes don't get covered by NBC, like 4 through 7. Just like, I don't think I know those holes at all after watching all week, which is really disappointing.
Do we want to do a little broadcast stuff? What are we?
Yeah, we got to get it out. Also, I would give the Højgaard's parents an A.
Undoubtedly.
This week too.
Undoubtedly.
Sorry, Højgaard. I actually didn't see who finished higher.
Nikolai finished at 8 under. Rasmus finished at 7 under. Both in the top 20. Both made those.
Combined, they might have parent trapped today. We don't know who was who.
Broadcast wise, I feel like we've covered a lot of this throughout the week. Not a ton of slopes shown, not a ton of kind of context given to what makes Portrush very interesting and difficult, particularly around the greens. Anything else you guys want to add to that we haven't kind of covered throughout the week?
Can we put some kind of images to that I think we have some, Cody. I think of, again, I'm watching mostly on the world. Like this, what we're asking for is not only possible, like it's being done, right? I mean, there's like it's captured and it's in the world feed of like, if you're going to show as many putts as you do, and NBC loves showing putts, like you have to bring what makes the putts interesting to life, right? Bring us on the ground views, showing off the break, showing off like some suspense as to what a putt is going to do. These are just a sample of some images I went and grabbed from the world feed of just like what we're typically seeing on a lot of putts instead of just a tower cam that's straight down. And it's just, it's one of the many problems with golf on NBC, like the laziness of just relying on these cams. And I don't know how the relationship works between the world feed and NBC, if they can pull in footage or what footage we're actually seeing from that. It just looks very different when I'm watching it here on my computer screen versus what's on my television. And like you were saying about those picture threads, like it just like it just like hurts my golfing soul that, you know, you guys are looking at some of these pictures and be like, what golf course is that? Like I've been watching it on TV all week and none of that came to life. And like, I don't know, it'd be different. I know doing it live is harder, but it'd be different if like we didn't go make our own trip over there and like capture like the angles and the slopes and the way the golf course plays at a more detailed way than they're doing for the game's oldest championship. Like it's just not that difficult to do. And it is just a formula that I think I just got to tear it down to the studs, man. There's almost nothing. I'm not saying you got to get rid of everyone and everything with NBC, but like tear it all the way down and then just add it back one by one. Bones, first draft pick, you're staying. John Wood, you're staying. You do a great job. Blah, blah, blah. You can kind of add them back one by one.
But Byram does a good job.
Yes. The whole style of how it gets presented, just throw it out and start from scratch. The way CBS did when they changed over from Lance Barrow to Seller Shy, like it changed everything. And it's very much time for it because it is just it's really hard to watch. And I could not have got through the week without having the world feed.
I've got a question. Some of those pictures you just flashed up with the crowd in the background, that whenever I see a crowd in some of those, like not handheld shots, but kind of ground cams, it adds so much juice.
Sure.
Cody specifically was like the one with Fitzpatrick putting with the people standing on all the mounds around. And this one, yeah, it's like, man, but I guess my question is there something with NBC where like, we don't want to show people in the crowd because like, what if someone gives the camera the finger? Like, is there like a, you know, or someone holds up like a sign that says something like
I can't
grotesque?
imagine.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like they're trying, when I'm watching today, I feel like they are almost trying to make it look like every other PGA Tour stop on purpose, where it's like, nope, we need to like focus on the golf, keep the crowd out. And I'm like, no. I want the opposite. I would like more drone shots, like in CBS when they do those like track cams where you can see all the people there. Cause it looked like a pretty good place to watch golf with all these, like a kind of a stadium course vibe with people having viewing vistas on all these mounds. But I didn't. And that's what takes me there. That makes me feel, that gives me the FOMO of like, I wish I was there. Yeah. And I guess maybe the worst thing I could say, but I was like, I didn't feel like I was missing much based on the broadcast. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I see these pictures from Jamie Kennedy or the world feed stuff he just threw up. And I'm like, God, that looks awesome. Like with the way those people are watching, spectating. Now I feel like I'm missing out. That's what I want.
And dunes in the background and slopes on greens and all of it. And then on top of it, we get commentary that's just telling us exactly what we're seeing on the screen from
not to mention the commercial
or from Hicks, or like there's just too many guys in the booth.
I know I'm a broken record on that. That's just it's almost like, hey, they clearly think that's the strategy. I just disagree with that strategy. It's just too many voices, man. And all the voices are fine. Like Kisner's not doing much for me, but like if it was just him, maybe he'd be better, like him and Tariq. But then Tarico comes in and adds noticeable juice immediately when it's like one voice moving from shot to shot. I'm like, I honestly look up from my computer or whatever I'm doing. I'm like, oh, we're like, we just kicked it into 6th gear for like 5 minutes. And then he comes in to play them out into a commercial and give those guys a pee break. It's like, God, but that's the ticket though.
I feel like two things that stuck out to me as maybe these are not possible for some reason that I'm not thinking of, but that would have been massively additive. One, just send a drone out there anytime in the last 2 years to show. I don't even mean that backhanded. I'm just saying, like, it does not have to be live. Just low fly all of those green surrounds. I feel like that's the best part of any golf course footage you ever see, is just fly that drone 10, 15 feet off the ground and encircle these greens, so that like when these guys are facing these approach shots, or when they're facing, like, I don't know, I think number 4 is probably the best example of the whole pickle, like looking down at like there's a bunker here and a bunker here. That tells 1/3 of the story of that hole, and the whole entire thing is dictated by those slopes that guard the front left of that green, the kicker that's on the front or on like the back right. There's all these things that just don't get shown without a very specific camera view. I think is number 1. You could do that
And
for
sell that
for
stuff.
all those holes.
Sell it
And
to a
well,
sponsor.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that's kind of the problem. Is it's gonna become the like, whatever the whatever food company or pet food
Deej,
company.
I
they're
have no
throwing stuff to.
problem with that. If it leads
Sure.
to truly, I will trade you that like 100 times out of 100 if it's additive.
Second thing I was going to say is, and this comes, I've been sending you guys this. We've talked about this a lot, just offline, but the Mets TV broadcaster, this
It's
guy,
a menace.
John DeMarsico, I think is his name. He's like this film nerd sort of guy. He basically sends a camera out at each Mets game to basically just like go get the cinematic shots, go get the stuff that just looks cool. Don't worry about following the ball. Don't worry about tracking the second baseman. Just get stuff that we can cut away to just for a second that like looks awesome. And it's just, you don't have to do that at, the Byron Nelson or at some of the John Deere, although like I think even those would be ripe for it. But it's like every one of these golf courses is such a cinematic, cool, dramatic, beautiful place. Particularly Royal Portrush is one of the best ones on planet Earth. And just, I think dedicating one more camera to go with the final group or rove around and just be like, the same way they have the Venice cam that does the follow shot, when the winner's walking off 18 green at Augusta, there's got to be a way to put that sort of setup on some sort of camera. Look, it's not going to match all the rest of the stuff and it's going to stick out when you cut to it, but I think that's kind of the point. Like I thought they had that for a second, where I like looked up today and I saw this unbelievable photo or unbelievable moving shot of a links golf course, and I was like, whoa, finally. And it was a Rolex commercial, and it's just like,
I know exactly which one.
you know what I mean? And it's like, there's got to be ways to just work that stuff in as just take a breath and like, this place, look at how awesome this place is. And I get the natural pushback to that. Speaking out of both sides of my mouth will be like, you guys fucking want us to show more golf shots. You want us to show more golf shots. And we're trying to cram in as many as we can. And I have said this a couple times, but I feel like I'm almost, especially on a day like today where Scottie is so clearly going to win. It's like, man, I almost think I'm changing my position a little bit on that stuff, where it's like, I don't need the quad box as much as I need just a little sense of place and a little feeling like I'm watching this kind of like, work of art stadium that's hosting the best golf courses or best golfers in the world. So
amen. And then Hicks just with like such a flaccid call at the end there. And then when Rory taps in, he brings up the FedEx Cup, like win his fourth FedEx Cup and all of it. And I just think DJ, like they almost got bailed out today by Rory or by Scottie running away with it, to where, like Solly, to your point earlier in the week, whenever there's a lot of guys in the mix, they fall behind immediately. And they fell behind. They were wildly behind first few days of like when there's a lot of stuff to track, and it's not impossible. Sky is doing it. The world feed is doing it. Like that's the thing. They're going out of their way not to do it. And that's what leads me to believe like Tommy Roy is such a massive part of the problem. It's also insisting on these tower cams that wash everything out.
The big difference here again is live versus edited, but it's also like there are two I don't want to say it, two idiots on this screen here that go on a golf trip and with a small budget and go play golf at like relatively inexpensive golf courses. You kind of screwed with the budget a little bit and messed that up. Like that's a better cinematic experience than watching like golf on this massive NBC program. Like that's it's like there's more cinematic capture in all of that. Like all that to say, like, well, you guys will complain about anything. It's like, no, I actually work with some people that do an incredible job of like taking like this really tiny little story and making it into this visual experience. Like I work with really impressive people when it comes to the production of storytelling. And I know that that's different for a live sporting event, but I want to feel some of that. while watching a live sport event and not like feel like every other thing I'm watching is just checking some sort of box.
And we see it from CBS. Like that's
Exactly.
the thing. We know that this transformation or this evolution is possible. And I think for me, it's starting to poison my love of the Open Championship to where I think next year, like I'm just going to go over and watch it in person. Like I
God,
want to be at Birkdale.
Get the
I wanna
Mark
go do
Jackson
that.
pick up. What have they done to my game? What have they
Truly,
done
but it's
to
like
our game?
like ESPN used to do a great job with this, or like imagine what CBS would do with this. But we're stuck with NBC through at least 2027.
That's why I go to all the Ryder Cups, DC. I can't possibly do that. Watch that on TV.
Deej, I think your Mets call out was a good one. I mean, that's 100. Is it 62 games?
It is.
I mean,
81 home games, but
the
yeah.
homies putting in the work, right? Like spicing up what can be a slog of a season. Because I get it, NBC's got a lot of tournaments they got to put on, but I think, yeah, man. Hey, we got one camera guy that's going to go get like dope shots, and we have them ready to go.
We could get Randy's guy Tom Brenneman on the. He's looking for
Oh,
work, right?
multicast.
No, he's got a job. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 to 9.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Let's go, Solly, your favorite part. Let's get to some Ryder Cup implications. I think I would have to check the numbers. I think Scottie is going to be on the team. I feel really good about that. As far as other big movers, we mentioned solo second. That's got to be, well, I don't know, doing the
It's
math,
going to put him up
2,000
into
points
sixth.
or so.
That is going to put him up into
Wow.
sixth. It's going to put him at 10,000. I actually did the math a little bit earlier.
Is that in the lock zone?
That is he's going to pass JT to get into the lock zone as of now. It's still really close, and there's some time to go there, but he will go up into sixth place.
Solo third this week, and I believe probably our first big discussion point. Chris Gotterup, potential links master, comes over, not even in the Open, wins the Scottish Open last week, and then finishes solo third at the Open. Solly, are we putting him on the team?
I
Stick
think
your neck out, Solly.
Gotterup's going to have to come home, play some American style golf at a high level. I think he had an incredible 2-week stretch over here, and I think there's been a lot of golfers that have had incredible 2-week stretches. And you guys that, just fall off your guys' radar as soon as they, come back down to earth. Andrew Novak, things of that nature. I can feel you guys. I can sense you guys
We were
already.
never in on Novak. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can sense you guys moving on from Ben Griffin all of a sudden, which I feel like we spent about a month talking about that one. Still got a ways to go. All right. We're not getting swept up in all of this. We're going to see how it plays out over the next several weeks and the next month or so. But it's officially interesting, I think. If you'll allow me to go through this. So we have Scottie, Xander, JJ Spawn, Henley, Bryson, and Harris English as the picks as of now, or the automatic qualifiers as of now. So that means picks, I'm going to name 7 guys, and you've got to leave one of these guys at home now at this point.
Okay.
Challenge
Which is
accepted.
JT, Morikawa, Cantlay, Ben Griffin, Chris Gotterup, Jordan Spieth, Keegan Bradley. One of those, that's 7 names for 6 spots.
Colin, leave him at home.
I don't know if I can get with you on that one, TC. Say them one more time.
It's going to be
Jacob
Morikawa,
Richmond, Brian
Cantlay,
Campbell.
JT, Ben Griffin, Chris Gotterup, Jordan Spieth.
Where's Spieth in the standings?
Standings or strokes gained? Which one would you want, Randy?
Let's do standings.
Let's do standings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solly's going off books here.
I'm going to
Please.
speak out of both sides of my mouth. I think as an exhibition event,
Spieth's
Spieth
26.
should
26.
be there.
Odds on still,
I think he's odds on to make the team still, Neil. Yes.
But I think
just confirming.
Okay.
Ryan Gerard, he could win out at Barracuda.
Would that get him automatically on, Solly? Have you done the math on
If
that?
Ryan Gerard wins, I think he does get automatically on. Yes.
I'm sick of seeing Cantlay. We can leave him at home. Spieth, hopefully it's a motivator. You don't need to come. I can find you 3 or 4 spots, I think, pretty easily, Solly, if you need them.
And you're taking Keegan?
I think,
Of course.
yeah.
Can
I'll
I
leave it up
ask
to
it 2
Keegan.
ways?
Yeah.
If you're trying to win the event, are you taking Keegan? And I know for entertainment purposes, you're taking Keegan.
I don't think Keegan takes away from winning the event.
I agree with
really
that.
don't.
I think he gives you a good chance to win the event. I think he's a good fit for the course, and he desperately wants to
driller.
be on the team, and he cares.
Sam
Yeah,
Burns
so
and
thrill.
Keegan Bradley have also been about the same play over the last 3 months as well. And I didn't even mention him as a potential player in there, which is just again to my point. Like it's a complicated, complicated situation that Keegan finds himself in, when he's going to have a massive conflict of interest trying to figure out whether or not he puts himself on the team.
Can I rephrase the question for you, Solly? What do you think Keegan would regret more? Putting himself on the team and losing, or leaving himself off the team and losing?
Putting himself on the team and losing.
You think so?
Yeah,
I actually think
massive
it's the
amount of pressure
opposite.
on
I think he would regret it if he didn't play and they lost, and he
a
thought maybe
driller.
I could have done something different.
Too many astronauts.
Could have just focused on being a captain. That'd be my answer there.
Randy, he's gotta order those Capri Suns and
Deej, who were you leaving
fruit
home?
roll-ups.
It's hard, man.
Orange
I didn't know about Gotterup's gold chains that he wears, which I think is additive.
Will
And
play
I
well
think-
in Farmingdale.
I think carries weight. I think Gotterup's floor is higher than I realized. I think his makeup is really good for Bethpage. Better iron player than I realized. Yes, he's got traits, man. He's got high level traits. All that said, it's been a 2-week stretch of crazy good golf on super weird golf courses that are nothing like what we're going to be seeing. And I think of those 7, he would be the odd man out for me right now. But Cantlay also, I mean, Cantlay's got so much credit in the bank on this Ryder Cup stuff.
Yeah.
But he has spit the bit so hard in big spots this year.
He's 5-2-1 career in the Ryder Cup.
I know.
He hasn't even really gotten himself into the big spots this year.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he T36 at the Masters, which is, small field, misses the cut at the PGA, misses the cut at the US Open, misses the cut this week.
Deej, I'll push back a little bit on your Gotterup floor thing. I think Gotterup's ceiling is higher, and I think he's a gamer and he's going to show up. But Gotterup has 9 missed cuts in 22 events this year. He had 12 missed cuts in 26 events last year. Like his game goes MIA.
It was bad at the beginning of the year, like very early, like January, February, and it's been. There's a lot of the top 25s, and those are all like full field events. He's not playing a ton of Siggies, and so it's a lot of these like. I know some of them are, I don't know, but then some of them are opposite field. Zurich Classic is a team event. Byron Nelson.
You're right, though. Looking at it since
it's
end of March,
it's
beginning of
trending
April,
the right way. But it's tough, man. I don't know. Solly, who are you leaving off?
I mean, Keegan from that list for reasons that are documented, I believe. But I still think Gotterup's got to answer the bell coming back home. I mean, it's still a. I don't think 2 weeks get you on the Ryder Cup team, especially when we have 2 months to go before the event. So
and we haven't even mentioned Clanton yet. Who knows what he's going to do over the next few weeks?
Jackson Coyvin, of course,
The best player to never win a major. Is that
No, one of the 10 best players.
Yeah, one of the 10 best.
Don't be glib, Neil.
Current.
I'm good at it though, Deej.
Not a whole lot shaken really on the European side because they do a great job with their points list and their structure, as we covered last night. So not a lot really changing on that front, other than their team just falls in the line really, really easily.
Did you have the points? Do you have the points list up
for Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Europe, it goes, and this is not updated, but it goes Rory, Tommy, McIntyre, Hatton, Sepp, and Shane Lowry. Rasmus is nipping on the heels there. Don't think he would get enough to pass Lowry from this finish. Then there's Rose, Ludwig, Hovland, Dietrich. But I think that top 10 is on the team, right? No matter what.
I was going to say you're probably slotting Fitz in.
And then Fitz and Nikolai fit in really well if you want to.
Man, that top 10 is so like experienced and they just seem so solid.
Oh wow, John Rahm's
you got Rahm.
Yeah,
and yeah, we didn't even have Rahm in there. Jesus.
Rasmus Niergaard Peterson.
They might need to send a B team as well, TC, just to maybe alternate day by day.
And they have good assistant captains.
It's crazy how this flips so quick, to feeling like, but then, you see what 11 of the last 12 majors have been won by Americans.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny, my brain's in a pretzel a little bit. Cause I look at that and I'm like, damn, that looks like a much stronger 12 than what I'm seeing on the US side, or at least just trying to unbiasedly look at it. I'm like, damn, I like that squad a lot.
Well, I feel like also these guys are all going to keep their games sharp and keep the momentum going because a lot of them play on the DP World Tour, and you've got BMW Wentworth, you've got the race to Dubai going through the fall. Whereas I feel like a lot of the US guys kind of exhale after major season, especially into FedEx Cup, and then you've got another 3 weeks there, right?
Totally.
4 weeks.
I think, Neil, to your point though, like if you looked at total strokes gained and play over the last 6 months, like of the top 13 guys between both teams, 9 are American, 4 are European. And like of the bottom 5 end up being, European. Robert McIntyre, Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, Aaron Rod. Like in your head,
I'm going on some name brand.
You are. You're going on. That's my point.
But that counts for something when you start thinking about match play.
100%.
I think that it's kind of eye test a little bit of like I don't
who's
think
gonna
Hovland's scared.
Who's going to get the big hit?
Well, I think it's like if if we're looking at like Ludwig and Hovland, kind of through the lens of we're critiquing Cantlay and Morikawa for not being at their best form. Like you can say Hovland and Ludwig have not been at their best form as well, but it's not
fair.
That's not fun to do on the European side because all we do is praise the Europeans and rip on the Americans. So again, if Europeans play bad, just blame the Americans.
Solly, I think the guy that for me he keeps showing a lot. I think he showed a lot this week is
Justin Leonard,
Mav McNeely. I think Mav McNeely,
he's so
should be on the team.
Quietly hanging. I hate it, TC, because I love Mav, but he just feels like he's hanging in Snubville right now. I don't know what he's going to have to do he's going to have to really kick the door down. I feel like.
If you don't want to answer this, that's fine. But Solly, who would be your 6 picks? The 6 captains picks.
He doesn't speak about that.
You don't pick the team right now, Randy.
Too early to say
pick
that.
the team right now.
Randy, I gotta you're the first person to have any respect for my process in this entire multi-year period of the Ryder Cup. So I appreciate that. All right, if you're asking if I have to set the team,
Solly will pick his team on Sunday night after the tournament. He can tell you based on strokes gained who should have been on the team.
Are you asking me right now, Randy, if I had to lock the team right now for September?
That's correct. We're playing next weekend.
Oh no, we're playing next weekend. See what I mean? That's a different question.
September.
Okay. We're playing on the dates in the end of September.
Okay. I would pick right now. Then I would take Morikawa. I'd take JT. I'd take Cantlay. I would take Ben Griffin. I'd take Jordan Spieth, and I would probably take Gotterup as we're sitting there right now.
Whiffs of the boys club, but some new blood.
So they're
inducting some new members of the boys club.
The class of 2025.
A little whiffs of little boys club as well.
Bring your paddles.
Yeah.
That's I appreciate you listening to that. That's I'm not gonna.
Listen,
that's great.
Sure.
I mean, the Berger's on the radar as well. Mav on the radar as well. Burns, I think we all got a little scar tissue from how he played in Rome, but he's been really good in President's Cups, and he's not off. He's not Ricky's a no-go for me. I don't care. Ricky's playing some good golf, sneaky good golf. I'm not falling into the trap.
We're not doing it. We're not.
That's a no-go zone.
We did not mention Ricky Fowler T14 this week.
Exactly.
A little backdoor 600 today, but 800 for the week.
Because we're not falling into that trap.
I think the other thing that's underrated is Mav is a really good match play guy. Walker Cup, 2-time Walker Cupper, standout career at Stanford, all that stuff. I just new blood, man. Get some new blood.
But also they dominate at home. I don't know if you need new blood.
That's a fair argument too.
They crushed them in 2016 and they won by the largest margin in the history of the modern Ryder Cup in 2021. I don't know if
decency.
I think if it was 20, if we're going across the pond and we're going to Adair Manor right now, I could get down with some new blood and a new approach. I just don't know if you need that for Bethpage. But
you're setting the table for Adair Manor.
I would definitely just worry about winning this one. I'm not worried about setting the table for one they're probably almost certainly going to lose anyways.
So any global partners of the Ryder Cup that you want to shout out?
I do. I'm going to shout out our friends at BMW, who are massive global partners, worldwide partners of the Ryder Cup. And you can find out more about that at bmwgolfsport.com. They have been almost a 10-year partner of us here at NLU and have done amazing stuff supporting all of our Ryder Cup stuff and will continue to do so into the future as well. So thank you to BMW. Find out more at bmwgolfsport.com.
Golf Sport's got a massive picture of Dan Brown. It's Dan Brown's season right now. He won the BMW International Open.
Really?
This year.
Angels
go.
and demons, baby.
Yeah, the code. Neil, should we talk a little? I would love to know of some guys that got their money right this
sure.
week. I think that's probably where we head next, Sully, isn't it?
I think it is. I want to give a shout out to our friends at SoFi, the ultimate finance app, for sponsoring today's SoFi Get Your Money Right moment. Starting last week, really. We're going to give SoFi the Get Your Money Right moment to somebody who got their money right on the course. This could be a career-changing win, locking up a tour card, a backdoor top 5 to secure the bag. Shout out Tommy Fleetwood and more. Head to SoFi.com/NLU to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Plus. And if you want to nominate somebody for the next Get Your Money Right moment, let us know in the comments. We might make some that are more macro and whatnot. But Neil has got this week's Get Your Money Right segment. Who got their money right?
Well, this is the non-Scottie category. Just tee up Scottie and majors this year. 3.42 million at the PGA, 3.1 at the Open this week, 615K for a T7 at the US Open, 1 million for 4th place at the Masters. That's 8.1 million, right around that number, just in majors this year. Ted Scott, putting away about 810K of that. That's good stuff. I'm going to give it to Chris Gotterup, the Links Master, Chris Gotterup. 1.575 million last week for winning the Scottish Open, 1.12 million for second here at the Open Championship. That's 2.6 million over the last 2 weeks. Before he got on the flight to Scotland earlier this month, he made a total of $1,011,337 in career earnings. So it's always fun to see somebody, 200%, 2x, Randy, 2x or something substantial.
Kind of like what you did with the block.
Yeah, a little bit, just flipping it, right? We like multiples, TC. We like multiples. A few other things. I just think that the macro Scottie stuff you put out about the Mallet is kind of the maybe the macro get your money right of switching to a Mallet, switching to the claw grip, getting you 82.1 million in the last 16 months that's fun.
Double checking that might have been for full 24-25, that 82 million, but about probably 78 of it was since switching to the Mallet. But yes,
I had a couple other honorable mentions. Haotong Li, current year-to-date 2025 earnings were 1,012,000 euros. T4 today, that's 730,000. I would say dollars, euros, whatever. But great week for him. And then I had also exempt into the Masters and the Open. So setting himself up for hopefully large paydays next year. And then I've got the outhouse to the penthouse nominees here. We've got Windham Clark in javelina mode, 76 on day 1, outside the cut, finishes T4, made 1.7 million year to date, and today 760K. So big 3 days for Wyndham. Bryson,
that's not net of anything going to Oakmont though.
No, it's not. He's going to need the funds. He's going to need the funds. Bryson, 78 on day 1, as we know, finished T10, gets him 304K. So climbed 24 spots on Sunday with the 64. And then the biggest losers, TC, we've got Big Leash and Sung Jae Im. Both shot 75 today, dropped 30 spots on the leaderboard, T52. That's going to hurt. And then Sally, I'm sorry to report, but Big Tone, also a 75. That drops him 27 spots to T56.
He's going to need that Ryder Cup stipend. Solid.
I don't know if he's covering off on us family expenses to overseas.
I don't know. I think about like a young guy like Gotterup, just turning into the Links Master for 2 weeks. Like, think about his mindset.
Paying a lot of taxes,
leaving the U.S. on around July 4th and coming back with like, man, I just made like 2.6 million bucks and I'm 24. Like, that's got to feel good, huh?
Not only that, he tweeted out after winning. He said they did that video of that coach in the locker room saying, "Bring me my money." Yeah,
seriously,
he's checking his bank account.
That's gonna feel good on that flight home. He might have changed to a different type of aviation on his way home.
Well, thank you to that, Neil, and thanks to our friends at SoFi, the all-in-one finance app, for sponsoring this week's Get Your Money Right segment. You can go to SoFi.com/NLU to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Plus. And if you want to nominate somebody for next week's Get Your Money Right moment, let us know in the comments.
We're gonna keep the segments rolling because we got another one from our friends at Yeti. The coldest moment. We've done this one for a long time, and this one's gonna be a little bit meandering, but it's gonna lead to something good here. So, this one kind of starts with a tweet that was originally sent out by Torque GC that said, "quote
Torque." Torque.
Is it Torque? I don't know. Maybe.
According to all, it's Torque.
Okay, Torque GC. Joaquin Niemann has got to be a top 5 player in the world right now. Currently sits at the top of the leaderboard in Singapore for his 2 wins on the season and his 4th in the Live Golf League. If Phil Mickelson responds, top 5, try number 1. A conversation kind of ensues with Phil now, I would say pretty famously saying after that, here's a hot take. Does Scottie Scheffler win in 2025 before the Ryder Cup? I don't think so.
So good.
Really good stuff. Really good stuff. A lot of other people kind of tailing Phil on that one and following him with some similar proclamations. Phil to
figure out why Phil ever ended up in gambling debt.
Phil, to his credit, has since sent another tweet. I'm told. I think I'm blocked by Phil, but I might have been off on that one. Congrats to Scottie on a great performance. He's distancing that one, and I want to be clear as a podcast kind of built and founded on hucking takes. I hope Phil keeps sending these
seriously
out
I
there.
appreciate him putting them out there. That's good stuff.
And the reason I'm not necessarily saying that Phil's tweet from many months ago was the Yeti coldest moment of the week. I'm saving that distinction for what I assume is probably our takes of the envelope, which have stayed cold all week due to great latch integrity. Cody, I think has we did this at the U.S. Open. We said we were going to do it again at the Open Championship. We all sent in, I believe, 3 takes. Just things we were pretty convinced were going to happen. We sent these in on Wednesday night. Cody has been keeping these under lock and key. I have no idea what you guys said. You guys have no idea what I said. And maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe this is not going to qualify for the Yeti coldest moment of the week, but I have just a really good feeling that it will, at least going off of my own. So Cody, where would you like to start with this one?
Yeah, I think we're going to start here with Mr. Solomon.
Am I the coldest?
You guys know? No, of course not. We're going to build up to that, buddy. But you guys know we unveiled a couple of them at the 36th hole mark. Solly, unfortunately, as we all know, he didn't follow the instructions on that one. But going down the rest of the list that he sent, there's going to be a playoff.
Not good.
Spieth is going to make us feel something.
I don't know about that.
Well, I will give him that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
Resentment. Bitterness.
Yeah.
The only time I felt something about Spieth was when you included him on that list of there's 7 players here and you got to pick 6. I was like, Spieth might be the odd man out here, and I don't really like how this feels.
Or when he was talking about Scottie doing all the opposite of what he's done.
Yeah, that was good too. I don't know if I'm going to give you a victory on that one, but it's
like an L.
We'd have to squint, I think.
I'm gonna wear the L on that one. I don't remember what the last one is, but there's no way it hit.
I want to
actually. You know what?
The chat's helping me along a little bit. I put peak in the envelope here. A peak is in like a mountain peak and not a peak.
Hey,
so that's
Cody, that happens. All right.
Moving on. Big dog only leaderboard on Sunday.
Solly, I'm gonna go through some names. You tell me big dog or not big dog. Okay. Scottie Scheffler.
I think that qualifies.
HE
qualifies.
Chris Gotterup.
He has dog tendencies.
Yeah.
Big dog. He's
not a big dog yet.
Power play it a little.
I think
Tiger might hit him with a big dog because he doesn't know who he is.
He might have owned some big dog shirts.
If I can meander, like there were times on this Sunday. I didn't specify. I didn't say the end of the day Sunday, but like at one point it was like
some TC
Scottie, Rory, Bryson, and Xander like shortly outside the top 6 or whatever. Like that was kind of more I was going out of like this one's going to be some big dudes out there.
Wyndham Clark,
JJ Spawn.
I'd say the Javelina is a big dog.
I mean, a lot of major champs. Matt Fitzpatrick, Haotong Li.
Haotong's a big dog.
Haotong Li's sweet. Bobby Mack.
Just give me a clean slate of L's. I don't care.
There we go.
I don't care.
Wore him down.
All right, moving on to Mr. Big Randy. Okay, we pulled it out on Friday that Scottie's going to go into Terminator mode. 36-hole leader, going to make us go on to a decisive win. He's making putts. Very spot on.
Good stuff, Randy.
It'd be hard to top that one.
Now, I think that might have been his peak, the correct peak there. There's going to be a Cinderella story on the front page of the leaderboard through 2 rounds, and that man will be 22-year-old Frenchman.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Martin Couvra.
Randy,
Listen,
I'm not going to make fun of this one. That's what I'm going
I
to say.
was putting my name on something.
Yeah, I love it. Imagine if it would have happened.
Can you imagine if Kuvra goes out and shoots 67, 68?
Exactly. I think this is a
nuts.
great take, Randy, personally.
Next, we're going to fall in love with the
Oh.
18-year-old Scott Connor Graham. He's going to make an ace or some crazy highlight
So
on his way to
specific.
making the cut.
God, he's predicting a blocky situation.
Connor
I'm trying
Graham
to put
rules.
my name on some takes. Connor Graham does rule. He had a pretty good front nine Thursday, and then it all went.
He shot 79, 73.
Yeah,
Settled
not
in. But gosh, I see where Randy's coming from on that one. He got paired against Big Stu Hagestad in the Walker Cup when he was 16. He's like 5'5" out there just puttering around. And he goes to
Truly
Texas
looks
Tech
like
now.
a 14-year-old.
Yeah, he's great. He did not play well, but
No.
but it is I like your wish casting here.
The last one from the big fella. Fleetwood misses the cut, LOL. And my man Curtis Luck will make it.
That's just mean-spirited, Randy. I can get on piling on Tommy at times. That's mean-spirited.
Yeah, listen, that was more. I thought we were being prompted, somebody to miss a cut, somebody to make a cut. That the first
outta
three
here.
were my true let's put these in the envelope.
Randy, these are fantastic. I love the specificity that you went with here. Understood the assignment. A lot of L's, but I like it.
Curtis, and he
Curtis
did it from
did beat
early as
Martin.
shit, waiting for his tee time at Cyprus too. So I appreciate the dedication.
Curtis did beat Martin Kuvra and Connor Graham though.
You did, but
For
not
what-
by much.
for what
I
that's
don't
worth,
think.
but not by much. Not by much.
Yeah.
Good job, Randy. Moving on to DJ, of course, brought out Victor Hovland will miss the cut.
That looked good for a second. We had a chance on Friday. He just played too good on Friday. And he almost finished last among the guys that did make the cut. So
God,
Not
it's just like betting on the under though. It's just like not a fun one. Do you want to root
it's not
against
fun.
the cutie
no,
pie
you're,
like that?
you're right. You're right.
53-year-old Podrick Harrington makes the cut on the number.
I felt really good about this one. That did not happen. He missed the cut substantially.
And your final one,
Substantial.
John Rahm wins by 3.
That did not happen. I did have one more. I don't know if it didn't make it in.
What was it?
Scottie Scheffler goes.
No, you know what it was, Randy?
Scottie Scheffler wins by
Scheffler.
4.
Well, it was Scottie Scheffler wins by 4. Then I had one more. No, it was Martin Kuvra finishes in the top 30. It was literally my other one. I was with you on that one, man.
Are you being serious?
100% serious.
Just
Oh,
wait till we
yes.
get to
I
mine.
love the Kubra.
I know.
I
I
love
thought
the
it was going to
profile.
be a total
Yeah.
coming out party. But
I did too.
Unfortunately not.
I hate that I missed that. It didn't make my DMs either, but who would have thought? All right, moving on to Mr.
Maybe
TC.
I dreamed it. Might have been one of your guys'
It might have been a
dreams.
Lucas.
Hey, real quick on Solly's, a lot of Georgia Bulldogs made the cut, which Kisner pointed out half a dozen times. Big dogs.
Mm.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. A lot of big
Thank you.
dogs.
It's been a UGA year, man. They've been killing it.
TC had so many, I had to adjust my font, so I apologize there. Pat the Hammer Cantley is your 36-hole leader. Already unveiled that one. And as we did last night, the Hogards are going to be up to something. They're going to make some noise.
Good one.
They made
Is
noise.
this
Yeah.
TC
There was
just
some
leaving
noise
himself
emanating.
like exit strategies everywhere. May not be at the end, but they will make noise. Noise is really kind of in the eye of the beholder, though.
Just like big dogs.
Keegan is going to finish in the top 20. Chance for a playing captain. Get louder.
So close. T30.
Second part
Lucky
was right.
today.
Yeah.
NBC is
That's
going to push
true.
this all the way to the end because this
Hell
is the best
yeah.
thing they've got going.
T30, but I think the chants are getting louder.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. The second part of that is definitely accurate.
Next, Tommy wins, of course.
Just
Jesus, TC.
Then he
People
moved
asking.
on to watch out for Martin Kufra.
I swear to God, we didn't communicate about this.
No,
We
no,
were
no.
talking about him on the preview.
Dream stuff.
no,
He
he's
called-
playing fucking good. You
No,
guys
he's-
got to follow that other tour.
He's so good.
Yeah.
God,
TC did follow up with me a couple hours later with a to shoot 78 that he wanted me to add in there. But very
Spraying
well
the ball
done.
all over. Watch out for Martin Kuvra.
And last, we're gonna move on to the waiter last night. Neil. Stu Think, excuse me, is gonna make the cut. Shane Lowry will make a scene at some point during the
I
week.
think I won this second one.
You
I
won.
think
that
that's
one.
Yeah.
I'm giving that to you, Neil.
I
these
Stu
are
looked
slice.
good, man. He just bottomed out at the end of round one, but he's been balling out on the Champions Tour. Unfinished business, all that kind of stuff.
I
So,
feel
of
like-
course, on the first one.
I mean, we'll make a scene with rules official. Like that's so cut and dry.
I just kind of felt like
Yeah.
it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but it he just seems to be at the center of like drama a lot. And I'm like, sometimes he brings it on himself a little bit. This one wasn't really his fault though. Like that's just bad luck, man.
That's a dub. I call that a dub.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I agree.
Got it.
I mean, they had a great compilation of all this times he said, fuck this course or fuck this place.
I'm upset with my
Recently.
predictions, Cody. I did this like last minute, so I'm sorry I didn't give you like what Randy gave you.
It's okay. You did send a third one in, and it was a non-American golfer will win, which
The U.S.
if-
non-American, I believe, was what I
Just
sent you.
one word off there, unfortunately.
and if I go on to our predictions for the week, Neil, that puts you firmly in the only person that picked Scottie for anything, and that was for him not to win.
Yeah.
Is this your first not to win that has become a winner?
I think it is. Yeah, I do.
Is anybody else still alive?
I lost mine on P at the Masters.
Gosh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, X vanquished me last year.
I honestly forget. I'm sure I named somebody at some point that went on to win.
Somebody look that up. I don't know if I'm alive or not. I think I am alive, but it's a fun bit.
I will say though, overall, pretty good this year compared to last year, at least for our selects.
Yeah, not bad. I like the takes in the envelope. We got to keep that one around. That's fun juice to have running in the.
I'm just amazed we all came to Martin Kuvra. I've never been.
know.
raised.
I'm
We're so
kinda
early.
astonished.
Sounds like
We're so early.
collusion.
No,
We're freezing our envelopes.
Exactly.
exactly. No, gosh,
Like,
just wait.
And
First major. We're so early at this, man.
Yeah.
if you guys are looking for something else that's French, Yeti's got a French press available. They got many
Great.
tumblers, bottles,
Bring us back something
lounge chairs, hard coolers, soft coolers, customized options out the wazoo. You can check out their full product line at yeti.com. Thank you to them for presenting the Yeti coldest moment.
Guys, I feel like we're nearing the end here. Couple other little news and notes. We had Aphrodite Dang winning the U.S. Girls Junior.
Can we do Kisner and Wyndham? We gotta before we move off the Open. We gotta talk about that one. That was one of the toughest moments of the day. The most like
Sorry, you guys had to go through that.
What happened for those of us watching the world feed?
They finally brought up like Windham Clark and the incident that happened at Oakmont. He had been blown off media over the course of the week, and then finally was asked about it after the round today. I don't have the quotes in front of me, but they called it something like an unfortunate incident that happened. And Kisner chimed in to say like, something about it. Like, I don't know how the USGA let that get out. The locker room is supposed to be sacred, almost like blaming Oakmont and the USGA for the world finding out.
Man.
About
It's still
this
broken,
damage.
by the way. The locker is still broken.
He said he apologized for it, but he really didn't. Like, he waited until he was asked about it in the press, like in media, and then gave a really bad apology about it and hasn't paid for it, hasn't done any of this. And it was just kind of, I don't know. It was a weird conclusion to that one. I do not know why kids had to go out of his way for Wyndham on that one. It's like, dude,
And if the locker room is such a sacred space, then like don't destroy the lockers in said locker room.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was one of the lowlights of the day.
I don't like it when people take something when someone literally did something that's like that was an unfortunate incident. Like, it wasn't like an active thing. Like, it's just a tough way to put it.
Could get a
But hey,
did get a
the
bounce.
the Feral Hog's already moved on.
Yeah.
Right. He moved on weeks ago.
He's hot right now.
And Wyndham was talking about how he was trying to keep it private between Oakmont himself and the USGA, and he's just hoping to have a pathway forward.
Well, he was trying to keep it private by not reaching out or doing anything about it. That's
Which also, this is where I get back to like these guys want golf to be like a real sport, like the other big sports. Like, what do they think? Like this is the shit that like people talk about in between the games. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like people not talking about Draymond kicking people in the nuts.
Yeah,
talk about it, man.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that got out. I just
it is.
you know what? All they need to do is just get at the same table and just have a seat at the table and look each other in the eye, and all would have been figured out. right?
I did.
According to
I
Kizzy.
see some people asking whether you were going to have a seat at that table or not. DC
I think I've already, I think I built the table.
starting the conversation. I'm trying to think any other kind of like getting into the Open next year. I mean, Gotterup obviously was not in, and he will get in next year. Haotong Li gets into next year's with his finish. I gotta think a lot of these other guys are more than likely going to already be qualified inside of that top 10. Just outside the top 10, your guy Jesper Svensson, John Perry, things of that nature. But not a ton on the kind of exemption front. But anything else on the Open, guys?
Sorry, I think real
Please.
quick, I think Haotong's gets him into the Masters.
Yeah.
Yes, top 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just breaking news coming across the wire.
Well, we were talking about the Open too, so I wanted to reiterate that.
Anything else, guys? I had I just mentioned was halfway through that. Aphrodite Dang wins the U.S. Girls Junior at your guys' beloved Atlanta Athletic Club. First player from Canada to do that. I saw Ryan Gerard and Rico Hoey were tied for the 54-hole lead at Vacuda. That obviously is ongoing, and we will not.
Hostler.
I don't know that we're going to be
move.
republishing the pod to include the winner of that one, so we'll have to look for that next week.
Possibly the last CUDA ever.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like they're having a hard time maybe with title sponsorship.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the issue or
pretty
not.
good
I guess
field
it
this
usually
year.
is. Max fighting back after a pretty bleak opening round to kind of get back in the mix towards the top of the board. So a couple things going on there. Guys, H&B polos are hitting the pro shop this week. I know the Czar is all over that. Maybe might look a little something like this. Nest member access starts Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and it is open to everybody on Friday at 10 a.m. I think some of our most popular drops of the year whenever the new H&B stuff hits. So take advantage of that. New aeration styles keep you cool in the late summer heat. TC, we got the Turnbull, the Russell, all kinds of polos going up. The Holland with
I would shout out. There's a fish one. Can't remember what it's called. It's got fish on it. We got a little NLU bucket on there with an LU on it. Randy, you were shouting out the one with the trees on it the other night too.
Really good.
I got the one with the visor, the little tour visor on, which is quite delightful. But
good H&B t-shirts in the shop right now. Good level wear t-shirts. A lot of good stuff in the shop. Store.nolayingup.com. Take a spin through the new arrivals section, or if you go to the collections tab, you can shop by brand: H&B, FootJoy, Rowback, level wear. So a lot of good stuff. I think we're hitting a crescendo here late in the year.
Also, just from a like Ron Burgundy will read anything that's on the teleprompter. Thursday and Friday, it's Sunday, so those are live now.
Yeah, they're
very
live.
much.
Yeah,
I was just gonna let you go with that.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me stand on it. But there you go. It's open to everyone. In case there was any confusion about which Thursday or which Friday, those are already open. So go get after it.
Deej, link season's not quite over yet. Randy and I, as you mentioned earlier, we're going to take off next week for the AIG Women's Open. That'll be the next time we are live here on this channel for the AIG Wyndham Happy Hour. And then we got some other live content that week. Of course, we got the FedEx Cup playoffs. Never going to forget that. And then a little bit of break before we get to the Ryder Cup. So it's almost the end of live show season. Appreciate everybody tuning into these shows. For normal podcast options this week, got a great interview with Lydia Ko, who, great champion from last year. We're also going to do a little majors. Jeopardy's coming back.
We are.
You joined TC to chop it up over on the Trap Draw. A bunch of good content coming out this week and next. So I'm excited. We're kind of getting to that point.
That we are. I'm really excited for the majors Jeopardy. We're going to take a look back at major season and try to see how well you guys paid attention to these tournaments that we dedicate so much time and effort to watching.
Is this the end of Big Dog season? Solly?
Big dog season?
Until the Ryder Cup, at least.
Big dogs on the leaderboard.
Just all the Georgia guys, or what?
No, just big dogs.
Just big dogs in general.
The tiger meme, or what do we?
Guys, thank you to everybody who tuned in to all of these live shows, all of these weeks. It's been a really, really, really fun summer, really fun stretch. Thank you to High Noon, Titleist, Yeti, ServPro. Thank you to BMW. Thank you to SoFi. Thank you to Cody and Matt behind the scenes. Thank you to you guys for bringing the noise. That was very, very fun. Thank you to everybody who watched. And congratulations to Scottie Scheffler. He's fun. He's fun to talk about and only getting more fun to talk about, I think.
And thank you to Open Radio.
And thank you to Open Radio. That's right.
And
And
the
thank you to
World
Martin Kuvra as well. We will see you guys next time. Cheers.